If you know, you know. And if you know the news I'm about to tell you, you would think I'm a prophet, because everything I've been preaching came to a fruition, and this is the proof of it. So, Errol Spence versus Shawn Porter approximately sold 350,000 pay-per-view on Fox Sport. That's the projection. It could be more. It could be a little bit less, but they know it's more than 300,000 for sure, topping Errol Spence versus Mikey Garcia, proving that Errol Spence is the pay-per-view star in the welterweight division and top 3 biggest names in the sport of boxing, period. It goes as Deontay Wilder, Canelo Alvarez, and Errol Spence. Errol Spence have entered that equation because obviously he's not doing Floyd Money Mayweather numbers. He's not cracking over 1 million. But who is? Even Canelo Alvarez is not doing so. Canelo Alvarez just fought Daniel Jacob on DAZN and did 600,000 or 650,000 live on DAZN. That being said, Errol Spence did more than half on pay-per-view against Shawn Porter. And they both unification bouts. The only difference, the Errol Spence versus Shawn Porter fight cost $75 compared to $20 on DAZN for Canelo Alvarez, and only $8.99 if you subscribe for the whole year. That being said, this is proves that Errol Spence is the star. I told y'all a long time ago, even when Thurman said that it was thanks to Mikey, the fight between Errol and Mikey was a big fight. Even back when Kenny Porter was claiming that Mikey versus Errol Spence wouldn't sell over 75K because they both not pay-per-view stars. Well, guess what? All along, I hate to tell you I was right, but I was right. It wasn't thanks to Mikey Garcia, and even if it was, Errol Spence beat Mikey Garcia in front of his own fans and fought Mexican style and beat him American and Mexican style, so he gonna gain his fans regardless. But regardless of any of that, I told y'all Mikey Garcia moved up 2 weight divisions to fight Errol Spence because he saw how big and how quickly Errol Spence rose to stardom. That being said, he grabbed the opportunity and took it and fought Errol Spence. The same reason why Shawn Porter fought Errol Spence is the fact that he saw that Errol Spence became a superstar in the sport of boxing and that he was on his way to becoming a megastar. So by that time, it was worth the risk to fight an Errol Spence now, because he knew fighting Errol Spence will take 3 to 4 years out of his boxing career. It was a great fight, and they definitely will get paid for that fight. However, at the end of the day, both fighters left with a little bit of themselves in that ring that night, especially Shawn Porter. Errol Spence was blocking a lot of punches. However, Shawn Porter, on the other hand, he was getting caught flush with a lot of punches. He ate a lot of leather trying to stay in the pocket with an Errol Spence. However, he gave some back. That being said, he did make the fight close. I had to score 8 rounds to 4 in favor of Errol Spence, plus the knockdown, which I agreed with the 2 main judges that scored the fight, right? Unlike one judge that gave Shawn Porter the fight by 4 points. That's literally impossible if you consider the fact that Shawn Porter got knocked down. You telling me Shawn Porter won 9 rounds against Errol Spence, even though he got out-punched by Errol Spence in every category, from body shots to power shots to head shots to even jabs, including Errol Spence landing the precise punches and more effective punches, knocking down Shawn Porter in the process? Let's not get ahead of ourselves here. Yeah, Shawn Porter performed better than a lot of people thought, including me. I thought Errol Spence was going to beat him in a more dominant fashion, and I thought Errol Spence was going to stop him in the 11th round. Yeah, he dropped him, but I thought he was going to stop him. That being said, Shawn Porter, I give him a lot of props for making the fight the way he did. Errol Spence, I thought he was going to fight Shawn Porter the way he fought Bundu. However, Errol Spence lived up to what he said, which is, this is going to be a dog fight, and I'm going to show that I have more dog than a Shawn Porter. And he stated, I'm going to keep coming forward the whole night. I won't make a step backward. And he lived up to everything he said. That being said, all these people want to give Shawn Porter all this credit that he truly deserved, even though he's experienced, right? However, the fighter that's unexperienced, that everyone claims want to see him in a dogfight, even though he pushed deep and gets it out the mud and wins in a war toe-to-toe against Shawn Porter, beating Shawn Porter at his own game, while lacking experience, like people like to claim, even though he beat a Kell Brook who beat a Shawn Porter. However, Shawn Porter is more experienced than an Errol Spence. But did it matter? Errol Spence showed that he could dig down deep and showed that he could beat fighters at their own game. He showed that he could outbox the boxer Mikey Garcia and outbrawl the brawler Shawn Porter. Who would have thought? Roy Jones back in the day, he used to say, box the brawler and brawl the boxer. Fight the boxer and box the fighter, right? Errol Spence, his motto is outbox the boxer and outbrawl the brawler. I'ma beat you at your own game. That being said, instead of people giving Errol Spence the credit he deserving more by digging down deep and making Shawn Porter eat his word, because just like Errol Spence promised that he was going to knock out Shawn Porter promised the same thing. And he made Shawn Porter eat his word. However, Errol Spence lived up to his word. And yes, the motto is man down, and he did knock Shawn Porter down, but he couldn't keep him down. Errol Spence, he better off changing his motto to man up, because now all these fighters are manning up since table turned and he the money man at the division. Keith Thurman claimed Mikey Garcia sold the pay-per-views. Danny Garcia claimed Errol Spence is not a star. Terrence Crawford claimed the fight between him and Errol Spence should be 50-50 because he the biggest star. However, one thing for sure, numbers do not lie. People lie, women lie, numbers don't lie. And one thing for sure is the numbers show that Errol Spence is the star in the welterweight division. If Manny Pacquiao versus Keith Thurman, which was a big fight, only did 450,000 on pay-per-view, and Errol Spence versus a Shawn Porter, a fighter that never been on pay-per-view and lost the Keith Thurman fight, he does 350,000 against Shawn Porter, and Manny Pacquiao does only 450,000 against Keith Thurman. That proves that it wasn't Mikey Garcia who sold them pay-per-views. It proves it's Errol Spence, because we all know, credit to Shawn Porter, he always been in great fights, but he lost the Kell Brook fight. He lost a close fight against Keith Thurman. However, he will give any top fighter problems, including a Terrence Crawford. That being said, he did not sell the fight between him and Errol Spence. Yeah, the trash talk helped, but it was, again, credit to Errol Spence and his stardom and the cowboy engine he has behind him, because at the end of the day, Shawn Porter, like Errol Spence stated, he can't even sell out his family dinner. Meanwhile, Errol Spence could fight an Ocambo, an unknown fighter, and sell 15,000 tickets, no problem. That being said, we're not taking credit away from Shawn Porter, but we all know Shawn Porter has to be in with a big name in order to sell a big fight, because we'll see, like Errol Spence stated, where Shawn Porter gonna fight next. It won't be on pay-per-view, that's for sure, but it's very important who he goes up against, because if it's not a big name, he's not going to be able to sell big time like an Errol Spence. That being said, that's not only a Shawn Porter, that's including a Mikey Garcia. If Mikey Garcia doesn't fight Manny Pacquiao next, he won't be on pay-per-view his next fight. Even if he fights a big name, it wouldn't be on pay-per-view. Even the Broner fight wasn't on pay-per-view. It was on regular Showtime. And they did 950,000 views. That being said, it proves that Errol Spence is the star, and a lot of people want to take credit away from him from when it comes to his numbers that he does, or his performances, or his resume, from Bradley to Keith Thurman, Danny Garcia. Now tables turn. Now they wish they were Errol Spence. Errol Spence went from being the guy that's chasing them to becoming the money man of the division, transforming from the boogeyman of the division to the money man of the division. Tables turn, and that's what Errol Spence stated. They can't wait to see him fall. But like I said, at the end of the day, give both fighters their credit that they deserve. Shawn Porter get credit for not getting knocked out, but you don't get no moral victories in the sport of boxing. However, what you get credit for is great fights. This was Barrera versus Morales of our day, and it was in LA. So Errol Spence and Shawn Porter lived up to the moment. Errol Spence put Shawn Porter down. However, Shawn Porter gets a lot of credit for not staying down and fighting on. But one thing for sure, a lot of people get caught up to the hype. If you believe that one judge had it for Shawn Porter, it's the same reason Canelo versus Floyd Mayweather, one judge had it a draw. If you want to believe Shawn Porter some way, somehow won the fight, that's like saying Luke Campbell beat Lomachenko. So let's not get ahead of ourselves here and enjoy the fight. This was our version of Duran versus Leonard. This was our version of Ali versus Frazier. At the top level, skill, and it was a brawl. Mexican style, they went at it. You name it. Whatever it was, they went at it. Now, do they get their credit for being Gotti and Ward with skill? So instead of taking credit away from Errol Spence, how about give him the credit he deserved? Because a lot of people claim they want to see a war. They tired of seeing Errol Spence box. They tired of seeing Floyd Mayweather box. And as soon as we get a great fight, people complain about someone getting exposed. Now that same Shawn Porter will give any welterweight hella problems because he was a hell of a fighter that night. He was willing to die in the ring. His dad even told him, abandon the body during the fight. That's how bad they wanted. That's how bad they wanted to hit Errol Spence. They was willing to die in the ring. But Errol Spence gets a lot of credit himself for stepping his game even more and sticking with his plan A and keeping his word by keep coming forward the whole night. Shawn Porter wasn't backing Errol Spence up. It was Errol Spence who was doing so. That being said, just like how Floyd Mayweather found a way in the first Maidana fight, I believe Errol Spence could have fought his fight and won that fight easier like Floyd Mayweather did against Maidana 2. That being said, it don't matter. The way Errol Spence fought made it a great night and a night to remember. So shout out to both Errol Spence and Shawn Porter for putting their life on the line and not backing up for no one. That being said, Errol Spence is the star in the welterweight division. Errol Spence is one of the biggest stars in boxing, period. So check out my new show, Split Decision. I will be hosting it every Monday, dropping at noon. We talked about the fight, broke it down, every minute of every single round. So if you know how I scored the fight and how I thought of the whole commotion before and after the fight, then check out Split Decision. It's a debate show, first of its kind. So check it out on Aki TV. Click on the notification bell to get notified every time we go live. Subscribe below if you're trying to get smarter by the minute. If you're trying to get dumber by the second, don't, and listen to these casual fans. And follow Lunatoon Boxing for the funniest boxing memes. He did my logo as well. Man, cool kid, funny memes, all that. If you're not following Lunatoon Boxing, you're definitely missing out on a laugh or two early in the morning, every time he posts a pic. That being said, all these links will be in the description box below. And They can hate you, but one thing they can never do is take away your achievement and your work ethic. That being said, this is a solo sport, and Keith Thurman, right about now, and Danny Garcia wish they were in Errol Spence's shoe. However, the shoe don't fit. You have to have the it factor in order for it to fit. So the shoe just don't fit. Errol Spence was born to do this. Errol Spence was born to be a star, and he has that work ethic to be so. That being said, follow Dante's Boxing Nation, follow Dante's News Nation, follow Dante Cooking Nation, follow. All these links will be in the description box below, including Lunatune Boxing. Like I said, check out my new show, Split Decision. I will be hosting it every Monday.